All right. Let's see here. Hey, everyone. I hope everything goes okay. I've been having some issues with Behance. Just kind of like not saving things and using like incorrect titles and things like that. But it looks like it's working out right now. So hopefully it sticks with that. Unfortunately, if you look at the Behance page here, I'm up against Terry White right now. So, yeah, hopefully some of you have come in here despite Terry doing his stream. But that happens, you know. There's nothing you can do about that. Adobe Live is going on all the time, it seems, so there's always somebody who's streaming. All right, so today we're going to look at grungifying appearance in After Effects, which should be fun. We are going to use Illustrator as well. But yeah, let me know how everybody's doing in the chat. Say hi. Let me know where you're from, what you're up to. Yeah. So let's get to it. I have a empty Illustrator. I did it again. An empty After Effects project here that we're going to import some Illustrator content into. If I flip over to Adobe Illustrator, this is something we created on this channel maybe 3 weeks ago. We're going for a skull theme the past month or so. 'Tis the season. And yeah, so I've divided everything into unique layers, right? So I've got my background here, which has this backgroundy stuff. I've got my sort of just black mass that makes the eyes and the nose dark. The interior of the skull. And then I have the skull itself. And I have our text, Memento Mori. And what we're going to do is we're going to import this Illustrator file into After Effects and create a new composition based on that. And then we're going to just play with it. We're going to do some stuff with grungifying it, maybe adding some like, I don't know, displacement to the edges and things. Some waves, dissolves, gradients, I don't know. We'll play with it. So here we are inside of our project bin. I'm going to import. I'm going to import a file. We're going to look for that Illustrator file. And let's see here. Here's my import options. So I've got grungegrain.ai. This is the Illustrator file we just looked at, the skull. And we want to import this as a composition. And we want to retain our layer sizes. So what this is going to do, it's going to bring in each layer with the size of its actual, the actual size of the content in the layer, right? Instead of the entire artboard. Let's go ahead and hit open. There we are, grunge grain, composition, and perfect, look at that. So just as we saw, we have our text that's come in. We've got the skull itself. We've got our sort of inner stuff there, which it looks like it didn't come across all that great, but that's okay. We can do stuff inside of After Effects to fix that. And then we have our background as well. So let's have a look at just kind of grungifying and animating this guy here, right? Compulsive saver, Command Control S. And, you know, again, say hi in the chat. Let me know how you're all doing. And, yeah. so many skulls this month. Or last month, I guess, right? Today's April 1st. So, friendly reminder, don't believe anything that you see today. Because it's ridiculous. I hate April Fool's Day. I hate it. I think it's stupid. That's my take on that. Especially when brands do it, right? When brands do April Fool's Day, it's just super stupid. It's like, be trustworthy, you know? Like, it's not, it's like a holiday to lie to people, which I think is not a good thing. Transparency, honesty in all things is very important to me, as I imagine it would be to most people. So, you people doing April Fool's Day stuff for brands, knock it off. All right, here we are. So, let's see. What do we want to put in here? Firstly, I want to do some grungification of the skull here. So, how do we want to do this? We could always go into our effects and presets and look for things like grain, right? So add grain. Let's go ahead and put some grain on that skull. So with grain, it's very intensive effect inside of After Effects. So we get a little preview window here. And you can always change that to the final output and it'll show the entire thing. Let's start with the preview window. We have a number of presets for different film grain here. Doesn't mean a lot to me. And what did I used to use? I can't remember. Doesn't matter. So let's see here. We've got our animation speed, softness of the grain, our grain intensity. Let's pull that up a little bit. So you can see here the grain intensity, what we've got going on. Cool. Softness. Color. Let's make this grain monochromatic. I do not want little bits of color in my grain. Thanks so much. And let's change this to final output and see how it behaves. Yeah, pretty good. So it can do very well. After Effects. Man, I am loving After Effects more and more. And it's funny, my first experience with After Effects, when I was in graduate school, I did an internship with Stars Encore. And it was my first exposure to After Effects. And, they sent me down a room with a bunch of like books around After Effects and how to do certain things. They put me in charge of like asset assembly for like doing some like lower third stuff and just like watermarking different things. And it was my first exposure to After Effects. And for a long time, I didn't do a whole lot inside of After Effects, but I was always very interested in it. And lately, after teaching After Effects for the last 3 years at the University of Colorado Boulder, and, doing more projects in After Effects, really, it's a really impressive application, and they're just making it easier and easier. I saw a tweet from somebody from the After Effects team mentioning that the beta of After Effects actually has a properties panel now, which I think is astoundingly good news. Because it's always been like a obscure thing, like how to do certain things inside of After Effects. Changing the properties of different items. Actually, let's open up our Creative Cloud here. Creative Cloud. How are you today? And hopefully my audio is good for everybody. But, here we are in the Creative Cloud app. If you go down here, you'll find beta apps. And there's a bunch of beta apps in here. More and more, Adobe's releasing these public betas. So apparently, if you want to check out that properties panel in After Effects, right, grab that beta. And that will give you access to it. I haven't tried it out yet, but I really kind of want to, you know? Because After Effects desperately needs a properties panel. All right, so we got a little bit of stuff going on here. Let's increase this. Actually, gosh, let's, for our skull, we've got our grain there. Let's try to play with a little bit of masking as we go through. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that effect there. What am I trying to say? Keep that effect. It's always good when I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Yeah, so you can see here with masking. You can always play. Oh gosh, that's awful. Oh, the effect. That's what I'm talking about. The background kind of thing with the eyes. That. We'll see. Let's add some life to the skull. Again, oops, I don't need to do that. Stop it. Choose the skull, not the mask, but the skull itself. And let's do some wave warp here. Some distortion on the skull itself. Nice. Wow. That's pretty cool. But not exactly what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for more something around the edges, something a bit more subtle. So, if we look in here, we've got our grain, we've got our wave warp. So, we can change in wave warp the type of wave that we have going on. Like if we do like smooth noise or noise, it's going to be more towards the edges here. I like sine quite a bit, but I'm going to take it down. I don't need the wave height and width so extreme. So you can see that looks a lot better, right? And the speed, I don't know. Let's take the speed down a little bit. Maybe not that much down. That's pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, After Effects is just so massive. So we got that stuff going on. Let's again, I mentioned before maybe doing some turbulence on here to take things in another direction. And actually we could add another wave warp on here too and just change the parameters. So instead of a sine, do something like, oh wow, getting crazy. I don't know. Circular wave. Change the phase. Change the direction. And again, let's take that height and width down a bit. And check that out. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Add in some drop shadow. Drop shadow. Take that opacity up quite a bit. Hey, works pretty good. I'm digging that. Let's grungify this guy even further. And what do I mean by grungify, right? I guess I kind of mean, you know, adding things like the noise, right? Adding things like this shimmering wave. Actually, I'm looking at it now. It's maybe a little too much of a wave, right? Let's take the speed down on this. Wave speed. Let's go a bit more subtle for that. Yeah, very good. And this first one. There we go. That's what I want. All right, let's actually add some stuff to the background as well. And hey, I hope the chat's not broken. I'm not seeing a chat from anybody. So, you know, I hope everything's okay in Behance land. And it's funny, we've been working with this particular asset for such a long time now. I'm gonna take the opacity. Well, no, I don't want to do that. It's always fun to play with stuff. All right. Yeah, let's do something with the background. Actually, before we do anything, let's add a overall kind of effect. And to do that in After Effects, or, you know, a lot of different applications, right? Like Photoshop has this, Premiere has this. You can add an adjustment layer and just apply effects to that. So I'm gonna say new adjustment layer, and it brings it right up to the top there. Right now it's got no appearance whatsoever, so we have to add a sort of appearance. Let's do a turbulent displacement. We've also got turbulent noise, which can be fun, but this will actually, as you can see, affect all the different layers. And right now it's not animated in any way, but we can fix that, of course. So let's see here. We go evolution. And if we want to make this a loop, right, we've got to set the beginning and end keyframes here. Pop another one right there, and then towards the middle, we'll just change that a bit. And that way, we get a turbulent displacement across the entire thing. So what we're doing here is we're kind of stacking, you know, all of the different waves that we have. Nested animation, right? We've got the waves themselves, one of them going this way across the skull, one of them going this way. And then we've got the turbulent displacement that's really affecting the entire composition. Like everything is getting affected by that. It's pretty good. Let's work on this background though, like I said. Actually, let's work on this inner stuff. Let's make this like super spooky. Does everybody like spooky stuff? I do. I like spooky stuff. So for here, we could do something actually with like a preset. So backgrounds. Look, there's one called Creepy. So let's put that on the inner stuff behind his eyes. Yeah. There we go. Don't like that much. Oops, and I put it on sort of at the wrong position. Let's do that over there. I don't know what to use. What did I just use? Deep tissue, was it? Tissue. Deep tissue. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and use that. Deep tissue is kind of cool. Fractal type. We do like turbulent smooth. And noise type. Sure. Let's take the brightness down a bit. Overflow. Let's see how this. Hey, yuck. Complexity. Evolution. We've got glow. So here's where we can change the colors. So if I want red, there we go. And I don't know why it only went out to 5. Right there, which we don't want. Let's change fractal noise as well. Just make some adjustments with these keyframes. No. I don't know. And that brightness, yeah, we need to fix that on this keyframe as well. And also, I mean, what we've got going on here, like we need to mask this quite a bit. So, something like that. And feather that guy out. Better, better, better. All right, good. Now, what do we want to work with? The background itself, I think. Smoke. Smoky smoke. Ooh, what did I do? Adjustment layer, no. No, we don't want to apply that to everything. Here we are. Smoky smoke. So what we're going to do here, yeah, smoky smoke, using a wave warp, which is fun. Just going to take this back a little. And, gosh, I don't know. What are we going to do? Just like increase the scale of this guy here. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing anymore. But it's fun to play. I mean, that definitely is, you know, one of the very cool things around After Effects, right? Is that there's certainly room to play with this stuff. So if you are just joining, I noticed a lot of people joining. You know, what the heck? Feel free to say hi in the chat. I do monitor the chat on these live streams. And I always do like it when people say hello. You know what's really nice, though, is I haven't had any of those issues. Let's add a blur to that background. I haven't had any of those issues with things dropping out network-wise for the past few weeks, which is great. Because nobody wants that to happen, right? I certainly don't. This guy out. And you know, we could even put some of that grain on the adjustment layer instead. I guess it's okay on our skull, but we could use adjustment layer if we wanted to. This inner portion here. I guess it's okay. Let me put some blur on that too. Yeah, that's cool. Now, is there anything we want to do with the text? I guess that's the last thing to look at here. Actually, yeah, let's add some noise to the overall stuff we got going on here. Or grain, rather. Grain. Add it to the adjustment layer. That'll help pull things together pretty nicely, right? And again, let's not set that to preview. Let's do final output. And change size. Take it down a little bit. And color. Monochromatic, please. Always. I always want monochromatic grain. Looking good. All right. Text. Let's see what we got going on with text. Maybe something to do with light. What can we do with lights here? Light rays, light burst. Maybe not, right? There we go. Better. What kind of burst do we want? Straight, fade, center. We have the color of our light burst. Oh, doesn't work with our selections here. Got the ray length. Let's set it around there. And yeah, ray length. Let's stopwatch that baby right there. Again, setting a keyframe there. Then we'll just do some variants as we go across. Maybe a center keyframe the same. And then let's hit this guy. Crush it. So you can see I've layered up like a whole bunch of stuff in here, right? But it's still performing like really, really well.
You dominate me completely. You're suffocating beneath your influence.
So not a single person has said hello today, which is very sad. I think these light rays are a bit crazy. So I'm going to take them down a bit where they extend outwards.
Escape me.
Just a little.
This is all so empty.
Let's actually change the center.
So crush.
So I'm thinking of putting a little bit more of something to the edges of the skull to make it more
This is all so.
look like it has a little more dimension to it, right?
This is all.
Like an inner shadow.
I'm so crushed.
Put it on the adjustment layer. I don't want that. I don't. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I should put a drop shadow on our text, though. That'd be pretty good. Let me take that before the light burst. It's pretty cool. I like it. Thank you. All right, drop shadow. Can we do an inner shadow with drop shadow? I can't remember with After Effects if that's something you can do or not. So we're gonna find out. Drop shadow 2 right here. Don't think so. Inner, outer key, no. Man, everybody's so quiet today. Why is everyone so quiet? Wonder if roughen edges would work out well. Actually, it's pretty cool. No, I'm not gonna. Let's not go crazy, okay? Stop, Joseph. Just knock it off. Yeah, I don't know about that. Jeez. It's, I don't know. So intense. All right, this thing's pretty grungy. We've done some really nice destructive things. All right, let's go ahead and call this done. I don't want to mess with it anymore. You have to know when things are complete, right? So, we're going to call this complete. Let's go ahead and export it. So, composition. Let's see if this works today. Media encoder is coming. I can see it bouncing in my tray. Sometimes it takes some time, but it is coming. And there it is. Hello, media encoder. How are you today? I'm doing all right, Joseph. How are you? I'm okay. Hasn't shown up in my queue yet, though. So we'll just wait. And there we are. So that looks good. I also want to generate a still image from this. Oh, well, that's not what I want. Wait a minute. Duplicate. Let's create a lovely little JPEG. I don't want a sequence. Well, it's gonna do a sequence. Who cares? Okay. I just need a still for Behance. Because when I upload this as a video to Behance, you know, I need a... I need stuff to go with it. Poster image. Kind of deal. So what I'm going to do here is just take this down. And actually, I need to scale this because Behance is kind of a troublesome when it comes to this sort of thing. It needs it at a certain width and height. All right, this will generate some frames for me. Let's go. That was quick. JPEG. All right. Well, I've got my stuff, and there we go. It's finished. Okay. Well, nobody said hi today, which is really sad, but that's okay. Things were just strange today, starting out, so we'll just deal with it. This replay will be available, and you can always get to my schedule from my Behance page if you're curious what I'm planning on doing in coming weeks, right? All right, I am gonna kill this stream. So thank you, everyone, and later.